Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about 30 simple hacks to recession-proof your music school or your music teaching business. So it doesn't matter if you are a solo teacher watching this or you got a large music school or anything in between. You're going to find this super valuable, super practical, and I'm going to share 5 ideas with you. This is part of a PDF and a training I did, which you can grab for free down below where it's got all 30. So if you like these 5, then definitely grab the link. Well, grab it anyway because it's super valuable. Even if you did these things, if it wasn't a recession, perhaps about to come or not in the middle of it, depending when you're watching this, even if you just did this stuff anyway, man, your teaching business would be like way more profitable, way less stressful, and you'd have a whole lot more fun. So just do it anyway, grab it, you're going to find this valuable. But let's get straight into 5 ideas that are going to help you recession-proof your teaching business. Number 1, you want to create a downsell option. Why, Johnny? Well, because you're going to get people that are going to be facing some financial hardship in this season, and some people are going to have to quit. It's much better if you haven't just gone, hey, this is my one price, my one program, sorry you can't afford it, see you later. It's much better to be able to have a downsell option where you can actually say to someone, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do it. You can say, hey, let's say the lessons are $150 a month. Go, hey, I'm really sorry to hear it's tough for you right now, and that $150 is not doable. What would be doable for you right now? You never know. That person might actually say, well, I could do 100, and you can decide whether that is something you are happy to agree with, because you might prefer to have 100 rather than 0. And then if that happens, you want to say, awesome, well, how about I log in that discount for you, and let's lock that in for the next 3 months, and then check back with me again, and I'm happy to work with you on this until we get through this tricky season. So that's one way you can do it. Another downsell option is if you teach a weekly program, people are coming in every week, you can say, hey, rather than miss out, why don't we move the lessons from every week down to every second week, or maybe once a month? And you're looking for an option to downsell something. So it keeps that person engaged, it takes care of them, it just shows that you're not just all about the money, and so you get that trust, that respect, and the student actually wins because they still get some form of teaching. Maybe you even have an option where it's not just lower lessons, but you provide extra video support. So it might be that you've filmed a bunch of content that you can house in, a unlisted YouTube video or in a music teaching software. There's lots of them out there. I won't name names. There's all sorts of education platforms where you can load videos in and you can provide extra support where you just have to film it once. Like this vlog, I'll film it once. I don't have to actually call all of you individually and teach it to you. So look for options like that. What can you create as a downsell? So for that person, they actually do stick around. They just pay a bit less, and they're thankful that you helped them out, and they'll bump back up when the time is right. So look at those options. That's point number 1. Number 2. You want to make sure that you have a really good lead magnet for your school. So what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of you only have your website, right? You have your website, your Facebook page, maybe a YouTube channel, maybe a TikTok. You have all these things where people are able to browse and see what you do. But you have no idea that whether someone comes to your website, has a really good look around, and then just decides to leave. When you have a lead magnet, and one of the simplest ways that you can do this is just, hey, grab an info pack plus some sort of benefit, some sort of deal. You can create something that sounds compelling. It might be like some people use a free trial. You may hate that idea, but you may be comfortable with 2 for $22, or something that works for you, like 2 lessons for the price of 1, or a $50 voucher. If your lessons is $150 for a month and you're prepared to give $50 away to buy a customer, well, maybe it's, hey, grab a free info pack and a $50 voucher. So something that entices people to want to have the info pack, so they get something like this and like, oh, cool, well, that's a low commitment for me to just put my name and email. I'm going to get a voucher, I'm going to get an info pack, and I can just decide whether I'm interested in following the next steps or not. What's the difference for you though? Well, in option 1, you have a website and you have all your socials, and people go and they have a look and they might decide, it's not for me. You never even knew they were there. Whereas if they actually come and go, oh yeah, I'll grab an info pack, now you've got their name, you've got their email, you've got their phone number, and you can actually follow up. And in those follow-ups, that's where the real money is. So make sure that you've got something like that implemented, and in here we talk about how you can do that. So I've actually, as I mentioned, this here is there's 30 30 simple hacks for how to recession-proof your studio, and I actually recorded a full 1-hour workshop breaking this all down in detail. You can get that at the link down below. So if you're already like, oh man, 2 points in, this is gold, I want all 30, I want to hear what you have to say on these, just grab it down below. I've done a full hour workshop talking through all of it, and I've linked to all the resources and things that would actually help you implement all of this faster. You can get that free down below as well, so click that link. Should we move on to number 3? Awesome. Okay, number 3, and these are not in any particular order. I've just picked 5 for today. Number 3 is like survey your customers. We're going to do this for a few reasons. Number 1 is that people, as they're starting to feel the crunch of a recession and the financial stuff, and even if they're not feeling it, they're hearing everyone else feeling it. They're seeing the scare tactics on the news, all that stuff. It changes their state of mind. They start thinking about all the expenses that they have. So there's just some little subtle things that we want to do with our teaching businesses to just remind people like how awesome it is, what amazing value they get, that you're working hard behind the scenes, that they're making progress. And one simple thing you can do with this, amongst many, is to just do a little survey. So a simple way to do a survey is message all your students, all the parents, and just say, hey, what's one thing you love about taking lessons with me or our music school? And what's one thing that you think we can improve on that, we should just do a bit better? So you're asking for a good thing and something that you can improve on. And then you get all the feedback that you receive from everyone. And then what you do is you look for all the things that you could do that would be quite simple fixes. And so not things where it's like, oh, can you like build out a whole new room and soundproof it and add an aircon machine and all this for this particular class? That would be something that would cost tens of thousands. No, you were looking for something where it's like, it's simple, that you can implement quickly, but adds a lot of value, and it's come from your people. So let's say there's 5 things in there that you can do. Sometimes they're honestly really simple. Sometimes it's like, oh, could you add, some spray and wipe and some air freshener into all the bathrooms because they're not there currently. Cool. All right. Well, that's easy. I can do that in like 20 minutes going to the shop and picking that up. Sometimes it's things like, oh, could you add like a little instructional video to help us with how to set up our drum kit for the first time? We're struggling with that at home. Cool. Well, now you can add that into your onboarding for a drum student if you've got that. So look for anything that people are suggesting to you. And then what you're going to do with that is once you've implemented a bunch of things, you go back to people and say, hey, thanks so much everyone for sending in your survey ideas. Here's the 5 or 6 or 10 things that we've implemented, and we hope you'll enjoy them. And thanks for all your feedback. We look forward to working with you and continuing to improve our service. It's just a simple thing that makes your stuff better, reminds people of the value that you're providing, reminds people you're working hard behind the scenes, you listen to them, you care about them, all that great stuff. It really helps with the retention rate. Another great thing with that is just if you do raise your prices anytime soon, you can then go back and reflect on, hey guys, just a reminder, we raise our prices on, whatever, the 1st of January every year. We've had an incredible year. We've implemented, and you would list, maybe not the toilet air freshener thing, but you'd say all the cool things that you've done this year. We did this concert, we did that concert, we implemented these new books, we implemented this special, YouTube week where we got students all up there, up on YouTube performing a song. Like, we did all these cool things, and just a reminder that our prices are going up on such and such a date. We've got lots more cool ideas coming up for next year. Can't wait to, get back into it. And we'll see you in the new year at the new price. Any problems, let us know. Something like that. Next point. Hope you're liking this. Make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever you're watching it on. Tickle the right buttons, and that helps me with my job. I'd appreciate that if you enjoy this. Next one, I think we're up to 4. You want to re-engage ex-students. Such a simple one, right? You've probably got a whole diary or calendar or, your music school software if you're using that. Full of ex-students. What sort of deal could you create? You can either come up with like a special deal to get them re-engaged, or sometimes it's just as simple as sending an email like, hey, so-and-so, would you be interested in coming back for lessons? But the thing that actually converts way more people that most of you probably won't even do, even though I tell you this, but if you saw the stats on what it would do, hopefully it would change your mind. This thing here, they call it a phone, right? And I don't know if you guys know this, but if you like type in someone's number, it will actually ring them. and so your voice will be heard by their ears, and their voice will be heard by your ears. You get it? And I'm talking really patronising and jokingly, but the amount of people that don't use the phone, they're scared for it, when this is one of the most powerful weapons in your music school. If you literally just pick up the phone, and you might have your 10, 50, 100 ex-students, you pick them up, hey, it's Johnny here, how you going? Awesome. Hey, I just calling students that have been with us in the past. We've got some new spots opened up. Just wondering, would you be interested in coming back for lessons? We've got some incredible things happening right now. You interested? And you just have a conversation. So there we go. Pick up the phone, engage all your ex-students. You never know, if you've got 50 on the list, you might get 10 back, and it might just take you an evening, 2 evenings to call them all back. It's so worth it. So that was number 4. Let's go to number 5, final one, and just remember this whole doc here you can grab for free, link down below. I've also done a workshop recording all 30 points in detail, talking them through in probably more detail than I'm talking in today, linking all sorts of extra resources to help you plug and play this material a lot faster for you, and so you can grab all that stuff free too down below. So grab the link, follow that, and it will be in your inbox ASAP. 5th point. This is a good one. Yeah, I mean, they're all good, but this one's very good. That a lot of people just don't do this. You want to sell the next month to your students over and over. So what I mean by that is not sell hey, want to buy the next month? It's more like promote. Get people engaged, excited about the next month. So let people know, and this can be as simple as your monthly newsletter or a simple monthly email. It doesn't have to be something that takes you a lot of time. It can literally be you grab a phone, record a video really quickly, and it's hey guys, it's been an incredible November here at such and such academy or piano lessons, whatever. Hey, some highlights from the month, some shout outs to these students. We've added this new feature, we've got this thing coming up, and you just list all the stuff that's coming up that's exciting, highlights of the month. You're really selling the next month, I want to be part of that. And so have a think about what's happening in your studio right now. There's a lot of things that probably just feel like normal day-to-day stuff, and you're that's not really exciting. But to someone that's not working in it all the time and involved behind the scenes, it is actually cool. It is really exciting. And it can be as simple as hey, we've got this public holiday coming up. We've got, right now I film this in November, and it's Christmas next month. So what are you doing for Christmas? Are there holidays days that people need to know about? Is there some sort of special event that you're putting on? Is there, a special repertoire that you might be teaching? Is there some special, thing that you're doing for students in a certain week? Look for cool, cheap opportunities to add something of really cool value, really cool experience that doesn't cost you a whole lot. I mean, heck, even candy canes are cents, peanuts. They're very cheap. You can give everyone candy canes 1 week, unless you're really, anal about sugar and all that sort of stuff. You get the point, right? Heck, give them an apple. I don't care. But you can literally be hey, it's candy cane week on the 3rd week of December. Watch out for watch out for Candy Cane Week. And I'm literally making this up on the fly, if you can't tell. And so maybe you give every student a candy cane, but there's also some competition where they can win 100 candy canes, or maybe you can find a giant candy cane. And so you've created this thing that's probably cost you $50, if that, and you've turned it into this cool thing. You're selling that next month. Obviously, someone's not going to stick around just for Candy Cane Week, but the point is that you're excited, you're getting people pumped about your lessons, you're selling them on the next thing, they feel part of something, they are reminded of all the cool stuff that's going on, what they've been drawn into, the community that they're part of with your students. All that stuff matters. So there we go. That's the 5th idea. So that's it. I hope that you will grab this down below. You'll get prepared for these turbulent times that, depending when you grab this, that we're either in the middle of or about to hit. You want to be prepared. And like I said, if you are not impacted at all by this crazy stuff, that's hard to believe, but if you're not, even all this stuff, if you just did any time in your business, my goodness, it will go like an absolute rocket. So leave me any comments, likes, feedback. I really appreciate that. I read it all, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you at the workshop, so you can check out the video that I've done. So grab that all free down below if you'd liked that. I want to see all 30 broken down for you. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you very soon.